Why is this taking so long? I've been trying so hard for years and yet I still haven't reached the mountaintop. I've been progressing day in and day out. I've had a growth mindset. I've read the books. I've taken the courses. I went to the business events. I tried to hire the right team. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars seemingly honestly now wasted. I'm stressed. My family is stressed. I'm ruminating at night and still I have not yet received my just rewards. Am I Sisyphus? Banished to roll the boulder of struggle up a never-ending hill for all of eternity? Have the gods destined me to a life of toil? What, dear fates, I ask, I beg, have I done wrong? I know Aristotle said patience is bitter and its fruit is sweet, but where is the fruit? Have I not earned my success by now? Surely I have, right? Soliloquies aside, you may have felt the same. Your persistent efforts have not yet come to harvest. Your business has plateaued. Last quarter's momentum has reverted. The market is down, your family is upset, the pressure is on, and lowly you, after having struggled for so long, are now existentially questioning whether this is all worth it. Is it even possible? Should you continue? Or should you instead give up on your grand goals and give in to the magnetic whispering of your community? See, they say, you've tried. No shame in trying, but come back to us. Revert back to the mean. Tend to your garden and smile with your children at home. That's enough, they say. Accept your defeat and come back home. And they're right, by the way. This is an important decision, one that you must make, unfortunately, daily. If you do, in fact, have some grand goal for your business or a vision you feel called to manifest, it will take longer than you think. And you'll say occasionally after a nice meal, after reading Simon Sinek, I'm in it for the infinite game. It's all good. I understand what I'm up against. But then payroll will come due. But then that client will cancel. But then a customer will ask for a refund. But then your leader will cut a corner. But then the market will crash and Google will add a free feature that destroys the business model of your software you've been building for years. And then that investor will get cold feet. And then that AI bot will undercut your pricing model. And in those moments, especially in those moments, the universe will challenge your previously bold assumptions. Infinite game, huh? It will ask, are you sure? How about now? And that's where you'll either earn it or slink back into the fold. It is not the first rep that makes you stronger. It is, as Ed Mylett says, it is one more. When you feel like you're at failure, that's when you get all of the gains. So the truth is actually quite simple. The remedy for the question, why am I not there yet, is another question. If you're really in it for the long haul, why are you even asking this question in the first place? What does time have to do with your life's work? Are you dead? No, then continue. This is a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. Those who are worthy of the fruit do not question the path their destiny has chosen. They either take it or they do not. With that said, I also know you come here for tactics, and even if you listen to this a few times and you're all riled up and you get motivated, you'll still need to deal with the process of continuing. So let me use my wife as an example, and with her, we'll uncover a more step-by-step solution. She's an artist, a music producer, but all artists are also businesses. Whether they know it or not, they are. An artist's creation is their product, and how they sell that creation is their business. And like many artists and business owners, she's often unhappy with how far she's advanced in her career. Why have I not made it yet? Why is this taking so long? It's a classic example of imposter syndrome. But here's the thing. She's not, at least not in the surface level, delusional. She locks herself in the studio for 40 hours a week. She's relentless and beautifully persistent, and I would also argue brilliant in her speed of learning. She's been at it for more than 5 years now, and at this point, she gets over 100,000 streams a month on Spotify. She gets flown to foreign countries to DJ. She has a manager. She comes up with a new song almost every month. She's legit, but not main stage of Coachella or Tomorrowland legit, which are the biggest festivals in her industry. Hence, why am I not there yet? Well, in order to get to the truth, we need to unpack exactly what it's going to take, and then find the holes, and then fill those holes. So let's start with just making one electronic music song. Most of them have 85 or more different parts and sounds, each of which has an infinite number of potential variations, each of which can be organized into a literal infinity number of patterns, basically creating a symphony-like amalgamation of sounds, all by yourself. It's magnificent, which is why they get paid a lot at the highest level, but also a bit maddening. And on top of it all, there are tens of thousands of new songs that come out every single day. Multiply that by an extreme Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, fractal down, and only about the top 20 DJ music producers in the world are able to make over $1 million a year. And therefore the odds are very low that you are going to make it to that level. It's just math. And the same goes for your business. The odds of you winning at the highest level are just incredibly low. All your employees could leave and work at any of your thousands of competitors at a moment's notice. AI is coming. The infinite possibilities of your software stack are endless. Your product needs constant improvement and pivoting. Maybe you should be selling a new product. If you get marketing right, which is unlikely, are you ready for sales at scale? Is your onboarding ready and up to snuff? Do you have an affiliate program? You're in the local market, that's great, but why not national or international? Why not have different languages? Why aren't you on social media? Why aren't you running ads? Oh, you're running ads? But why aren't you testing new creatives all the time? LOL, you haven't hired a CEO yet? You're still working in the business? Oh, sure, you have some money, that's fine, but where are you investing your profits? See the parallels? It never ends, which is why when you're answering the question, why am I not there yet? It's first important to have a serious discussion with yourself about expectations. Now, you know that I'm of the belief that all existence is our interpretation of it, and therefore everything you can conceive, you can achieve, to quote Napoleon Hill. So keep that caveat close to your heart. Do not go quietly into the good night of acceptance. Your self-obsessed nurture can, if you so choose, overcome any potential nature. But there's also a level of realism and acceptance of your starting point in comparison to your flagpole that truly actually does matter. If you're 4'11", then basketball might not be your game. If you're 6'7", maybe gymnastics is a tad bit too difficult. Or if you've never picked up a violin in your life, then setting your sights on Carnegie Hall solos might not be the best goal. I could go on and on, but you can see where I'm going with this. You must imagine drawing a literal line from where you are now to where you want to be, but also be realistic about how far that line stretches out into the horizon, and also be realistic about how many steps there are to actually get there. An ultra marathon is not in the same universe as a 5K. There are more steps than you think. Ideas are cheap. Actions will take a long time. Let's use the touring musician as an example. What does that actually look like? And better still, what skills do you need? And I need all of them. First off, they have a manager. They have many booking agents spread out all over the world. They are signed to multiple labels. They have their own music that's organized usually into an album, sometimes via an EP, usually at least 20 songs. They have a stage name and a brand. They have a social media presence where they communicate with their fans every day. They have merchandise and a professional website. They have music available for purchase on all of the major platforms. They have a specific sound, a voice, if you will, packed within a specific genre, probably even still within an even more precise subgenre. They usually have a residency in a city. What else? What other skills do they have? They're good at networking, or they've at least hired for it. They have a network of club owners and promoters that they know personally. They know other producers that they can collaborate with. They have a studio. They know how to remix other people's songs. They have a social media team. They probably create music at least a few hours a day. They also know how to mix their music, potentially even master it. They know how to use a dozen or more synthesizers. They probably know how to play the piano or the guitar or the drums. They're well versed in all of the necessary software programs. They can read a crowd and create a set list appropriate to the setting and the vibe of that crowd. They're also calm under pressure. They can control their nerves. They're both creative and new, but also somehow familiar. They're fun, but also highly professional. They're good at negotiating deals. They have an accountant and a lawyer. They know how to manage taxes. They're good at managing their energy. They're probably healthy and sleep well, and on and on and on and on. I say this not because I want to list out how to be an international traveling musician. I say this because I want you to do the same for whatever is your light at the end of your tunnel. If you were just to matrix style download all the necessary knowledge, brand identity, temperament, skills, connections, habits, employees, assets, and mindsets of whoever is theoretically already living your perfect life, be it a CEO or a famous artist or a podcast host, or even your friend down the street who just seemingly has his shit together. Whatever that may be, if you're going to draw that line from where you are to where you want to be, you need to conduct an incredibly serious audit of who you will necessarily need to become in order to pull this off. Simple as that. Because unless you break it down step by step and then compare that potential reality to your current skill set, you are flying blind, and most importantly, you're being delusional in cursing the fates, assuming that you've deserved something that you in fact have not yet earned. If you do not stare your own inadequacies in the face, you'll imagine that it should have taken you a few years or 5 or 10, or you should have already been there, not knowing that you've under-examined what it's going to take. You need to understand dead on, okay, that's what it's actually going to take. That's what a day looks like in the life of someone who has already accomplished what I want to accomplish. And then compare that list to where you currently are, and then do a calculation. How long will it take me to learn this software program? How long will it take me to get 50 corporate clients? How long will it take me to build SOPs so I can hire executives? How many employees am I going to need to hire? Am I keeping up with the trends? Is my accounting in order? Is my business set up in the right country? Is my brand strong enough? Am I practicing enough? Are we adapting? Am I putting in enough time to the nuances? Am I investing in my network? And on and on and on and on. If you ask all of these questions, you'll probably come to one of 2 realizations. 1, you're way farther away than you thought. Or 2, you're actually pretty damn close. My wife on the big spectrum is quite literally almost there, which is why she's a bit frustrated. She's better than 99% of the population. She's checked off about 90% of the boxes, except that one final last box. She needs an ever elusive hit song, which I'll tell you what, if you're 90% of the way there, if you've done the audit and stuck with the metric of progress, if you've deliberately practiced your craft, paying attention to those details like mindset and mentorship and network and spending capital wisely and all of that, then you owe it to the soul of your life to continue on. If you're actually close, even after you do the audit correctly, the answer to why am I not there yet becomes a fatalistic one. The answer becomes time. Just keep going. Do not, under any circumstances, quit. On the other hand, if you're really far away, the question becomes an existential one. If you're just getting started, extend out the goalpost at least 10 years, maybe even 20, and ask yourself, am I willing to grind for that long? If yes, then good luck. If not, choose something else. So that's that. In summary, if you're wondering why am I not there yet, first conduct a realistic audit of yourself at present compared to where you need to be to accomplish that goal. Then figure out how far you are away. This will set up your expectations in line with reality. And then with that new information, decide whether the juice is worth the squeeze. For my wife, she's almost there, so the only thing left to do is to continue until the dam breaks. And maybe that's the truth for you, or maybe it's not. Maybe you need to start over. Though either way, set a goal, whatever that goal is, see it true, and continue onwards and upwards. Honestly, it's the only way. Until next time, cheers.